Jamal, after the game, Coach Leach talked a lot about how they were going to try and do more to instill some toughness in the team. Has that process started, and how do you think he's going to go about doing that?
I mean, we had a padded practice yesterday, so that's kind of probably step one of it. We haven't found out anything up yet so far what he's going to do, but you know, we're just waiting on it, and you know, it really just starts with mental toughness with this team, and so I mean, we come to practice tomorrow ready to go mentally, and everything else physically will take care of itself, and so that's what probably we'll take care of that going into this week's practice.
Did yesterday's practice, or sort of the spirit of yesterday's practice, change anything from other post-game practices?
Yeah, it was a little more physical, you know, more at pace, but you know, it was like a regular Sunday practice, just what, you know, I had pads on, so it wasn't too much of a big deal. But everybody's, you know, spirits are up and ready to go.
The offense has been getting a lot of these, you know, penalties that maybe you wouldn't expect the way the play was drawn up, or to get penalized, those inside receiver holds and stuff like that. Do those have the effect of making the offense less aggressive at all? Have they kind of made you more tentative in any ways?
I can't really speak for the inside receivers, but I wouldn't think so. I mean, I feel like, you know, every single play is a new play, and so they will want to, you know, be physical every play when it comes to blocking. And Coach Shepard does a great job of, you know, making that known in practice for the inside receivers, and so I wouldn't know so, but I mean, you know, we have to find a way to cut those penalties down and stay in front of the chains and, you know, move on.
Could you see it taking some plays out of the playbook or affecting play calling at all?
I don't think so. You know, Coach Lee's going to be aggressive, and that's the mindset of our team, you know, aggressiveness, and so,
Thanks.
yeah.
Do you feel like you guys battled the toughness thing last year, and if so, was there a turning point when you feel like you guys finally got it together and found that edge?
Yes. Wait, can you ask that question again?
Well, Coach was just talking about the toughness. Jacob was asking you about that too. Do you guys feel like you struggled with that last year, maybe Portland State early on? And if you did, when did you guys turn the corner? How'd you find that edge?
I feel like there was never. I mean, mentally maybe, physically we're always there, and so I mean I think our main goal we need to really work on is hold on. I have no idea really. That's a tough question. But I mean, we just use what we did last year and use it as a learning experience. We don't want to like worry about that, but use what we did last year as a learning experience, and you know, I feel like, you know, the toughness part is gonna come, you know, but mentally and physically going into this week, and yeah, that answers your question right there.
What's the biggest thing you guys feel like you need to work on this week, whether it's on or off the field, just to get fixed before Idaho?
Just focusing on ourselves. We can't look at, you know, anybody else's focus on ourselves, and really just take one day at a time, one play at a time, one practice at a time, and you know, things just should go up from there. I mean, we know we need to work on, and yeah, that's pretty much about it.
I mean, you say you know what you need to work on. What are just some of those things?
Just being prepared, you know, most just being prepared, coming out the game ready to play. You know, just not having bad practices, make sure everything is like solidified, kind of like that. Just knowing what we're doing, and you know, keep everything sharp and, you know, to a T, and it should be okay.
You guys played a strong fourth quarter, and the first, you know, quarter's not as much. How much of an emphasis is there on, you know, getting out to a better start?
Oh yeah, it's huge. Just, you know, you get to play all 4 quarters, you know, and not just one, and so, you know, us going into this next game, you know, we're gonna make a real big emphasis on, you know, playing all 4 quarters, not just, you know, that one quarter. And you know, we do that, you know, we should be a very tough team to go in the future, but, you know, it still starts at, you know, during practice, not having layovers during practice in different periods and stuff like that, so.
Do you feel like this should be a 2-0 team? I mean, when you look back at the first game and last week, it seems like the overall theme is we have the pieces to get there, but we're sort of shooting ourselves in the foot.
Yeah, just a lot of mental mistakes. If you look at it, we're probably 2 drives away from being 2-0. And so, we just fix those little things that we have to do, and we'll start stacking the wins up back to back, and yeah, I mean, you don't want to look at it like as more so as a learning experience, being 0-2. So just look at it like take those mistakes, the little bits and pieces that we need to work on the next, from those last 2 games, and put them into this game, and hopefully have a different outcome.
Do you feel more pressure starting off 0-2? And I think a lot of people around you might think the world is crumbling. I know Leach will never allow that to happen. It's 1 game at a time, win or loss. But starting 0-2, what's the psyche right now of the team?
I mean, we know the whole world's against us, and that we kind of feed off that. We like that kind of mentality. That's a mentality Coach brings to us, and so being in this situation, we're ready for it, and we're excited. This is a new challenge, a new opportunity for us to go out there and compete, and yeah, so we're excited. Just to be in this situation and ready to go.
Jamal, so on a social level, how much interaction is there between Idaho and Wazoo players these days?
I feel like there's some connections, from this recruiting. I guess people know each other from back home or stuff like that. I know like maybe 1 or 2 players, but when we see them out, it's say what's up. But I feel like there's not much social connection between both of us.
Has that declined since you've been here? I feel like when you first got here, there were sort of off-season 7-on-7 and stuff like that.
Yeah, since I've been here, we never had a 7-on-7 with them or anything like that. You might see them, you go out to the store, you might see a couple of them out, but that's probably about it. We really don't interact with them that much as people would assume we do.
Any questions on the line for Jamal Morrow?
Hey Jamal, Seth Lowe with the Seattle Times. You practiced against Mike Bresky's defense your first year at Wazoo, right? Like, what do you recall of that, and how similar or different is that to what he's running at Idaho right now? Does that help you guys in any way?
I watched a little film right before I came in here, and so I mean there's still some similarities, like being a scout guy against his defense. So there's still some similarities that we see between them, and things change a little bit, and he's probably on game plan for some stuff that since he was here, he was a DC before, but I mean there's still some similarities between the two from earlier until now, and so yeah, there's some similarities, and we just have to go ahead and look at the film and go from there.
Does that help you guys at all in terms of game planning to face that, because you kind of have a better idea of what you're getting into than if you play a different team?
Yeah, I feel like that's more of the coach's job to look at that and analyze the game film, the last 2 games they played, and I'm pretty sure they know more about his defense than I do, but yeah, I mean they're probably doing that right now, and we just look at the little things that player personnel, stuff like that, and yeah, it should be fine.
Okay. Is there a difference between the issues that you guys had as a team between game 1 and game 2 if you look back on the last couple of weeks?
Just little things like penalties and stuff like that. We kept those penalties out and able to convert on short down and or short conversion and stuff like that. We'll be able to do that. I mean, the games would be completely different, and so we work on that, getting off the ball and getting pushed, and yeah, that should be okay.
So you're saying that the issues that you guys face against Eastern and the issues that you face against Boise somewhat similar then?
Yes, I mean, penalty-wise, yeah, there is, and this game we left a lot on the field. We didn't take advantage of the time we had the ball on their side of the 50, and so you have what was it, like 5 possessions we had on their side of the 50 and only scored 28 points. That's kind of disappointing, and so you look at it from that standpoint. But we get the little kinks out, it'll be fine.
We only have time for one more question for Jamal. Jacob?
In the second half, Luke took some shots downfield, passed to Gabe, passed to Tavares, that we hadn't really seen from him in the first 6 quarters. Was that a conscious halftime adjustment? Was that something the offense talked about?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Leach made an emphasis on, get the ball down the field, stretch the defense out a little bit, and that's probably what, him and Coach Leach had to talk about. But, yeah, we're worried about taking more shots down the field to stretch out the defense and open up, the whole offense.